Jesus' final warning stands as one of the most urgent and chilling messages ever spoken about the end times. It wasn't wrapped in mystery or hidden behind parables that needed interpretation. His words were direct, strategic, and unmistakably urgent. He gave 3 specific geographical warnings, real places that would become death zones when the tribulation begins. These were not symbolic teachings or philosophical reflections. They were military-style evacuation orders from the Son of God himself. And what makes them terrifyingly relevant today is how close we are to those days. The world now holds nuclear power capable of erasing nations in minutes. We have technology that can track and control billions of people, and global systems so fragile that one disruption could bring civilization to its knees. The words of Jesus are no longer distant prophecies. They are unfolding like a countdown, and the clock is moving fast. The first warning Jesus gave focused on Judea. In Matthew 24:15-16, he said that when you see the abomination of desolation standing in the holy place, those in Judea must flee to the mountains. That is not symbolic language. It is a command to act instantly. No second-guessing, no gathering your things, no waiting for a sign beyond the sign itself. Move immediately. Jesus continued, saying that if you're on the housetop, don't go down to get anything. If you're out in the field, don't even turn back for your coat. That level of urgency means one thing only: disaster will come at lightning speed. Luke 21:20 adds that when you see Jerusalem surrounded by armies, you should know its desolation is near. Those in Judea must flee. The instruction is not spiritual metaphor, it is survival strategy. Why Judea? Because Jerusalem will be the epicenter of tribulation. Both Daniel and Revelation describe how the Antichrist will establish his power base there, desecrating the temple and demanding to be worshipped as God. Those who refuse will face execution. This abomination will trigger persecution so fierce that Jesus compared it to a fire in a building. You don't wait to see how bad it gets. You run before the flames close in. Luke 21:23-24 paints the picture of great distress, wrath upon the people, and Jerusalem trampled by Gentiles. It's not poetic imagery, it's a forecast of total devastation. Yet even in that chaos, there is a glimpse of God's mercy. Revelation 12:6 tells of the woman who flees into the wilderness to a place prepared by God, where she will be sustained for 260 days, 3.5 years, the second half of the tribulation. God already has safe places designed for his people, not man-made shelters but divine sanctuaries where obedience meets provision. The key command is to flee. Not tomorrow, not after you've packed, but at the moment the sign appears. Delay will mean death. Jesus even told his followers to pray that their escape wouldn't be in winter or on the Sabbath, times when fleeing would be most difficult. Just as Lot's wife perished for looking back, those who hesitate when judgment falls will be lost. Judea becomes the first danger zone. Not because God forsakes it, but because it becomes the center of a storm that will consume the world. The second warning focuses on Babylon, and this is where the message expands beyond geography. Revelation 18:4 delivers a command that echoes like thunder from heaven. Come out of her, my people, so that you will not share in her sins or suffer her plagues. This is not about ancient ruins buried in the desert. This Babylon is a prophetic picture of a modern global system. It's the network of power, wealth, and arrogance that stretches across nations. Revelation 18:10 declares that in 1 hour, her judgment will come. 1 hour. That's all it takes for the world's greatest empire of trade and technology to collapse. 2,000 years ago, that sounded absurd. Back then, empires fell over centuries, not minutes. But today, 1 hour is more than enough. Global markets can crash in seconds. Digital systems can be erased. Cities can go dark. Our world runs not on solid goods but on invisible data, fragile codes flowing through unseen networks. Trillions of dollars move every second, and one cyber attack, one power failure, or one act of war could stop it all. Revelation 16:19 says the cities of the nations fell, not one but many, collapsing together in a chain reaction. Modern cities, for all their brilliance, are built on dependency. If those systems break, everything stops. No power, no food, no transport, no communication. Within days, chaos. Within weeks, total war. Revelation lists Babylon's wealth: gold, silver, jewels, fine linen, spices, and even human souls, all gone in an hour. Babylon is more than a city. It's a mindset, a spirit of self-sufficiency that says we don't need God. Every civilization that lived by that creed, Sodom, Gomorrah, Nineveh, ancient Babylon, fell under judgment. And this final global system will be no different. God's command to come out of Babylon is both a warning and a mercy. He calls his people to separate from the world's pride and greed before it collapses. This isn't just about moving from one place to another. It is about detaching spiritually from the illusion of security that Babylon offers. The more we depend on material comfort, the more we're tied to its fate. When collapse begins, it will be too late to escape physically or financially. Roads will clog with cars, banks will shut down, communication will vanish. Those who trusted the system will find themselves trapped inside it. But those who obey God's call to separate, both spiritually and practically, will find protection in his provision. The call to leave Babylon is not about fear. It's about freedom from a system that's about to implode. The third warning is perhaps the most misunderstood. It concerns the illusion of security found in underground bunkers and self-made shelters. Revelation 6:15-17 describes kings, generals, the wealthy, and the powerful hiding in caves and mountains, crying for the rocks to fall on them to hide them from the wrath of the Lamb. These are the people who thought they could outsmart the end, that money and technology could build walls high enough to escape judgment. But when the face of the Lamb appears, no fortress can protect them. Bunkers symbolize humanity's false gospel of self-salvation, the belief that we can survive through our own strength. Yet Jesus' message was the opposite. In Matthew 24, he told people not to go back for their possessions. Faith isn't about storing up supplies. It's about trusting God to provide what you need when the world around you fails. Revelation shows that the powerful will hide underground, not in victory but in terror. Their fortresses will become tombs. Their security will become their prison. Even psychology supports this truth. Prolonged isolation drives the human mind toward despair. Imagine that magnified under the pressure of divine judgment. What begins as a plan for survival ends in torment. The three warnings of Jesus align perfectly. Judea warns against the danger of disobedience. Babylon warns against the deception of pride. The bunkers warn against the delusion of self-reliance. Each of them reveals a different form of misplaced trust. Humanity has always looked for safety in things it can control: geography, economy, technology. But every human system, every empire, every wall will eventually fall. There is only one refuge that cannot be shaken, one place of safety that no weapon, no disaster, and no enemy can breach. That refuge is spiritual, not physical. It is found only in the person of Jesus Christ. Every warning he gave was paired with a promise that those who hear his voice, obey his word, and trust in his protection will be preserved. The time for speculation has passed. The signs are not coming. They are already here. The clock is ticking, the countdown continues, and the words Jesus spoke 2,000 years ago are now the headlines of our generation. The warnings were never meant to frighten but to prepare, to awaken a sleeping world and remind us that safety is not found in running from the storm, but in standing with the one who commands it.